You want to create your nail appliers for your legacy body? Keep watching! Hey everyone! Hello! Bonjour! Welcome to this new tutorial. And if you're new here, welcome! I'm Iso and it's nice to have you. Today we'll learn how to make nail appliers for your legacy body. It's super simple. You might be disappointed how simple it is. I'll tell you what you need. I'll throw in there a little tutorial on how to design your nails in Photoshop to get you started. I'll show you the few tools that can help you. I'll show you how to make a simple applier and also appliers with different options. And at the end, I'll share a few tips and tricks that I've discovered along the way. Well, as you see, we will try a few things. Excited? Let's start then. First of all, you will need the legacy nail templates. For that, you will need to go to the meshbody.com website. The link will be in the description below. You select the nail templates and then you click, you download them, and you open your file. I'm using Photoshop, but you can also use GIMP, which is free to use. We are now in Photoshop. This is what you will see the first time you will open the file. You just can hide this layer. You see you have now the nail templates. What I like to do is I like to put all these templates in one group. That way it's easy, to hide and show, and also to save some space when you are adding layers to your PSD file. So this is what I do. And by the way, feel free to pause the video to see exactly what I'm doing if you are not familiar with Photoshop or GIMP. That way you can see where I click and how I do it. In the PSD, you will see that there are some examples that you can have a look and maybe get some inspiration from. First of all, one thing that I like to do, you see here on the template, this brown piece is the smaller size of the nails that you can have. I like to add a guide, so that way when I'm working with colors and everything, I don't see the template anymore. I always know where the minimum nail size is, all right? So I create a new layer and then I use the rectangle tool to create a rectangle. The size doesn't matter. I double click on it to select a color. You see that when I show the last layer on my PSD, you will see the shape of your nails. So what I like to do, because I like to keep it organized, I create a new group and I drag my new layer in that group. Of course, I rename this new group to something simple. That group will be my colors, so I name it color, and I pass my new layer in that group. You will need also to add some shine, so I create a new group and I name it shine. I create a new layer and I set it to solid color, and I pick the color of the shine that I want to give to my nail. It can be anything. We will go over some examples, something nice. And then you set the blending mode to color dodge add. Very important. Now I will grab my brush tool, I will set the size that I want. I will start with a small size. I will set the flow around 20-30%. And then I will change the size of my brush and I will go over it to add some definition, some depth, let's say. So you can play with it. I go back to the size, I make it bigger, and I go over it again. Maybe this one is too big. Okay, so you see, I go over it. And I change the size again, something bigger to blend everything together, and I go over it again. You see that it's starting to look like a nice shine. Then I had a new layer, and I select my brush, and I make it smaller, very small. I will set the color to white. That way I will have more option when blending all the layers together. So I select the layer and I click Ctrl I to invert, to change the blending mode. And then I will just draw a straight line again. Like so. I will go to Filter, to Blur, and I will select Gaussian Blur, and I will just play with the settings, and whenever I'm happy I will click OK. You see that it has added something extra to my shine, right? The good thing with working with these layers is that afterwards you can change easily the settings of these layers to change the effects that you want to get. You can try with different colors, and then you can go over the opacity and play with it a little, depending on the nail design that you want to create. If you want to get different effects, you can play with the settings, with the opacity, with the fill. And yes, the limits are your imagination. Once you have created one shine, you duplicate this layer and you move it to place it over the other nails. You will do that for the the 4 nails left that you have. And because the nails are not the same size, I will resize this shine a little bit to match it with the nail size. And I will do the same for the extra shine that I've created. I will duplicate the layer and I will move it and place it on the other nails. Okay, we have our colors, we have our shine. I'll show you how to add something extra. I will go up there to my nail outline mask, and I select the outline by pressing Ctrl Y, clicking on it. And then I will go down and click here to add a layer mask to my red layer. Ctrl I to invert the mask. And then I can double click on our layer to play with a few more options. That will open the layer style window, and you have a few options there. I will go with inner glow. I will select a darker red, and then I will play with the size. You see that it adds a little shadow inside the nail itself, so it adds more depth, or it adds something to the whole thing. And I click OK, and then I show the shine group that I've created, and I play a little more with the opacity. I'm trying to see what looks the best. I'm trying things. And there's a tool actually that I use regularly that's very useful. It's called PureRef. And it basically allows you to have always a window on top of your program that you are working on, and that allows you to always have a reference when you are working. To get PureRef, you go to Google, you type in PureRef, and you will see the website. PureRef is free, but you have the option to pay something to the creator if you want, and then you download it. You install it, of course, and then when you open it, you will be able to have always on top a window where you can drag, pictures, so you always have a reference when you are working. It's very useful, actually. There's also there's a layer here that you can add on top of all the groups that you have already created. This layer is called base shading, and it will add something extra to what nail design you are working on. So here looks like I'm still playing with the opacity, the fill options, and to see what looks best. Once you are happy with your nail design, you can just save it as a JPEG. And creating different layers allows you to, let's say, just duplicate the layers and change the colors for more options. Let's say you are working on a nail design set of different colors. You can just, duplicate the layers and change easily the colors. And that way your work is always there. If you want to change something, you saved all the layers, so you can still modify them as much as you need. So here I'm resizing the inner glows, so it won't look weird at the top of the nails. And then I change the color again, and you see, you can play with the settings. Everything is possible. And it looks like I can't stop playing with these settings, trying to find the best color and everything. Now, about colors. If you suck at picking colors just like me, there's something that you can use. You can go to your Google and type in color palette. And I use this extension for Firefox. It's called Colorzilla. It's available for Chrome also, I think. You see that when I mouse over all these colors, it shows here in the little box the color that you can pick. And when you are happy with the color that you see, you can click on it and it will copy automatically the code of that color. Just click and it will copy the code of that color. We will go back to our Photoshop and we will double click on our color layer and we'll just paste the code that we just got. And it's as simple as this. Very useful. You can also pick a color from any picture that you would like to use. Here I'm typing Paris. And I just mouse over all these pictures to select a nice color. Let's say an idea, you have an outfit and you want to match your nails exactly to the color of your dress. You just take a screenshot of your dress and then you pick the color that you want. You can also go to Pinterest and type color palette. And you will get a lot of ideas for colors. So that's also a suggestion here. So that was a quick tutorial on how you can create your nail designs. Very quick, I know. If you want more details, I can do another video on that. Here I'm showing you what I came up with. I did several colors. I really suck at picking colors. Of course, there's some orange because here we love orange. I tried some glitter, was not happy with those. And then I've created some other designs, like more 70s one. I divided my design into different parts so I can hide and show some layers to create some effects. Well, I was playing with it. This is a flower one, and you see I have my flowers on one layer, and then I just can simply select the color layer that I want, and the possibilities are endless. What else did I do? I did also a Valentine's nail design. I placed my little hearts and cupcakes and bows on different layers so I can play with the nail colors, and I can modify the whole nail design as much as I want. And then I also created this one with clouds and sun, and I've created different color backgrounds, so it can be blue, can be a lighter blue. Doing this voiceover is a nightmare. Or I can pick also a green, and you see that I really suck at picking colors. Believe it or not, I was a graphic and web designer for so many years, and I still suck at picking colors. And I've created also a nail glitter thing, and I think it looks okay. I can play here with adding more glitter or not. You can do actually this glitter by changing your brush tool and do this. And then I've created different shines. I'm still working on this one. So yeah, I've created different shines, so they are ready to go whenever I want to create a new nail design. Be creative. For the graphic that will appear on the HUD, this is what I came up with. One for a single color and one for 4 colors. You don't have to if you don't want. I will show you. If you just want to create your nail appliers for yourself, you don't have to go to create a graphic for your HUD. So we have created our nail designs. We have exported all the textures that we need, the graphic for the HUD and also the nail designs, eventually also the thumbnails for all the designs that you have created. And to create your thumbnails, it's really easy. You go to your crop tool and then you select the area that you want to be your thumbnail. You resize it like roughly like this. You press enter. Boom, you have your thumbnail, and then you save it as JPEG as well. And most importantly, don't forget to press Ctrl-Alt-Z to go back to your original, file, and don't forget to save it. You see here in my inventory, I've created a folder especially for my nail designs. I've created also subfolders for each design that I will be showing you today. So everything is very organized and it's easier. I would recommend you to do the same, to put all the files that you need in the same place and name your textures something that you will remember what it is. Here for my Valentine's design, the HUD, it's just the name of the HUD. Then for the design itself, it's called Valentine, and the thumb is Valentine's _thumb. I think it's easier. Okay, now what we need to do is go to our legacy mesh body folder. And in that folder, you should see a file called create.zip 105. You add it to yourself to unpack it. Here it is, you accept it, and you should see it in your recents. And in that folder, you should see a file called createastyle.zip. You unpack it as well. Here you go, you accept it. I usually drag this folder in the first folder, so everything is in the same place. So now we have everything to start creating our HUD. We will just grab a few files that we need. In that Create a Style folder, you have all the options that are available to create appliers for the legacy body hair, clothing, skin overlays, special effects, tattoos, all kind of stuff. But we are looking for the style called nails. So we copy this file and we pass it in our folder here. And then we will also need the two scripts that you see here. You copy them and you paste them in the same folder. And finally, we will need the product setup note card. You copy it as well and you paste it in your folder. I like to do it that way because I know that I will just be messing with those files, and I still have, you know, the original files saved in their place. Okay, so we have our files. You see, you have two scripts. You don't worry about these ones. You don't have to do anything with these. They will do their job. You don't need to do anything with them. We have the product setup and the style nail note card. The difference between the two is that for your applier, you will need a product setup to just describe basically what your product is. The style is whatever you will apply on your legacy body. Today we will be applying nail designs onto the nails, so we picked up the style called nails. And also the difference is that if, let's say, you are creating a HUD with different nail designs, you will have different buttons and you will have different styles, one style for each button, but still you will still have one product setup because it's basically the same product but with different styles. All right, so we will edit our note cards. The product name, let's say I will call it nail applier, and the style is Valentine. You can put everything that you want here, and it's for legacy, of course. The product thumbnail, I haven't created a specific thumbnail for my product, so I will just use the style thumbnail. It's this one. You right click and you copy asset UID. Here, gender, well, it's pink, it has heart on them. It can be for female, but hey, men can wear them too, you know, so I will go with unisex. And demo, no, it's not a demo. You have a different product setup note card to set up a demo product. Today we will just do that. Okay, first note card is done, and then we go to the style. Okay, the style. I will just call it Valentine. You need to call your style something very simple. Pick one word. If your style is, I don't know, blue or orange, and you know that we like orange here, orange is my color, just go with something simple. Name it orange or name it sun, and that's it. One word that defines the style that you are creating. Okay, the style thumbnail, I will just go with the same thumbnail. Copy asset UID. Color group, I would say pink, because, yeah, definitely pink. And the nail UID, so it's the UID of the design that you have created for your nails. So I will just copy the asset UID, copy asset UID, and I pass it here. There are other settings here, diffuse tint, shininess, and so on. I won't bother with those settings today. You just save your note card, and you have already everything that you need to create your HUD. Now let's create our HUD. You go to build here, and you just raise a box. In Second Life, everything starts with a box. You just resize it roughly. I just make it a bit bigger so you can see it. Here. and you raise another box. Okay, so you have the big box is for your, you know, the view. I mean, it's for the HUD, and here it's your button. Okay, we have two boxes. Now I will add the graphic for the HUD. So I select my box. I make the texture transparent. Okay. And then I go to select face. And I click these little arrows to find faces 4. Here you go. I click on texture, and there I will just drag the design that I've created for the HUD, and you paste it there. Okay, apply UID. Okay, you see that the texture is a bit stretched. It's not looking good. So what I do is I open my design and I check the size. It's 256 by 256. So I go in the Object tab and I change the numbers here to fit the size of my graphic. Here you go. And then I resize it a little more so you can see it better. And now with my button, it's here. You can put it right over your HUD in this case, because basically it's a HUD with only one single button, so you can go over the whole area. You can, you can put it here. I will just make it smaller so I can see what I'm doing. I will name my button the same name that I named my style. And if you remember, I call it Valentine. So this is how I will call my button, just Valentine. Here, okay. And then I will select my HUD, and I will just name it nail design, for example, Valentine, and it's for legacy. It's also a good idea to set the properties. If it's for yourself, you don't need to do anything. You just leave everything the way they are. If it's something that you plan on selling, I would recommend checking a copy only, and you uncheck transfer. Okay? Now I will go back to my button. So we have renamed our HUD, nail design tatati. We have our button, it's called Valentine. I will select my button, and then I will select my HUD, and I will link everything together. You always have to make sure that the HUD is selected last, so it's your root prim. And now finally I will go to edit linked. I will select my button and I will make the texture transparent. Okay, we have our HUD. Now we go to the content tab and we go to our folder here. We select the product setup and the style nail note card. We drag them into the content tab. And finally, the two scripts. You select them and you drag them in there. And if I show you the nearby shot, you see that the scripts have started reading the note cards. So we need to wait a little until it has they have finished doing their job. Note card accepted. Okay. New styles have been added to your style page. You can now access them without using this applier. Woohoo! Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to go back to edit And those two scripts, you need to set their properties to copy only. Here. So you uncheck transfer for the two scripts. Here, and you uncheck transfer. I check one more time that my HUD is copy only. Okay. And then I just take my HUD in my inventory. I go to recent, to my objects, don't judge my inventory. It's a work in progress. You see your HUD here. You just get it and paste it in your product folder. So you have everything in one place. Here you go. And finally, you will add this HUD, this applier, to your HUD. I will add it to the center. I can make it smaller, like this. Maybe I will move it a little bit more to the left, to the left, to the left. Okay, and now let's taste it. Okay, so let's see if it works. Let me get closer. I click my HUD. Boom, it's working. Okay, one thing to know is that if you remember the template, there's only one hand. So basically what happens is that you will apply the design on both hands. It will be mirrored. And by the way, when you apply to your hands, it will apply also to your feet. Why are my feet like this? Okay, much better. So it will apply also the design to your feet. There's no way right now to apply one specific design to one specific nail. I double checked with the legacy support team, and they have confirmed that it's not possible right now because you have only one design for one hand. But I was told that it's on the wish list. So maybe soon you may have the possibility to apply different designs on different nails. So that would be great. So for now, we have created a HUD with one nail design. Let's try now different a HUD with several buttons and different designs. Okay, detach. So yes, I will go here. I've created already all the files that I need. Here is the HUD with 4 different designs. And I have imported in Second Life all my textures. This is the thumbnail. This is the design. And as you see, I've renamed everything so that's easier for me to know what it is. So I go back to my Mesh Body Create folder and I grab the 2 scripts and the product setup note card. I pass those in my folder, and I will need the style for the nails. Here, let me show you my HUD one more time. Here you see I've made 4 different designs. So I will need 4 style note cards. So I copy the first one, I paste it here. The first, you see, I've named my styles flower, clouds, blue, and 70s. So the first note card, I will name it, I will just rename it flowers, so I know which note card it is. I will paste another one and I will name it, rename it clouds. I will pass the third one and I will name it blue. And finally, a fourth one that I will name 70s. Rename 70s. Okay, so we have the two scripts. We have the product setup, only one by product. And here we have 4 different styles. So I have 4 style note cards for each design that I will have available on this HUD. And I've renamed all the style note cards so I know which one is which. Okay, so let's edit all of this. Okay, we'll start with the 70s. Style name, so I will call it 70s. The same, so no confusion. The style thumbnail, it's this file here. It's just a preview of what the design look like. So I copied the asset UID, I passed it here. Color group, orange. So I will just write orange here. And the nail UID, it's the design texture UID, copy and paste. And I save this note card. I go to my second note card. The style name is blue. I called I named my note card blue, so I will just go with the same name. It's easier for me. Style thumbnail UID, it's this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and you pass it here. Color group, obviously, it's blue. And finally, the nail UID, it's the design itself. It's this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and pass it here. And you save the note card. We will edit the third note card. Style name, it's clouds. You have the name here or you have the name here. Clouds. Style thumbnail, it's this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and you paste it here. Color group, I would go with purple. Can be purple, can be multi. Well, I will go with purple. And finally, the nail design UID, it's this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and you pass it. You save it. And finally, for the last one, style name, flowers. You see here, flowers. Style thumbnail UID, it's this one right here. Right click, copy asset UID. Color group, orange again. We like orange. And the nail style, the nail UID is this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and pass it. And we have our styles. We just need now to edit the product setup note card. So I will name it nail design. What should I call it? For summer, let's go with for summer styles and legacy. Okay, product thumbnail UID. I could put the UID of the HUD texture for as a preview. Well, actually, that's what I will do. Copy asset UID. Here, gender. Okay, I like to go with unisex. Is it a demo? No, so I leave it that way and I just save it. Now, in order to save time and to show you that you can edit a HUD that you have already created, I will copy the HUD that I previously created. Copy, I will pass it here. I will erase it. Oh, it's tiny. Edit. I will move it. I won't resize it because otherwise I will have to resize it one more time at the end. Okay, I go here. Edit. I unlink everything. So my button here, I put some kind of texture so I know where it is. Okay, and I move it. For the main HUD texture, I select the face. Here where the graphic is, I click on the texture and then I go in my folder. I look for the graphic, the HUD, the graphic for the HUD that I've created, and I just drop it here. I double check the size. Okay, it's the same size. Okay, apply. We're done. I just rename it. I don't remember how Summer Styles, okay. Summer Styles. You call it whatever you want, right? Summer Styles. Okay. I check, okay, it's copy only. That's great. Now I move this button and I will resize this button to fit the designs that I've created. Okay, I will place it on the first button like so. Like this. I adjust it. Here, and then I copy those this button because I need 4 buttons on my HUD. So I have the 4 buttons. So the first button, I will call it blue, like my note card here. Blue. The second button, I will call it clouds, like my note card. This one here, I will call it 70s because it's how I called it, 70s. And finally, we have flowers here. So I will rename my button flowers. I give the same names to the buttons. The styles that I've defined here in the style note cards, this is the name I need to call my buttons on my HUD, always. So now I select all my buttons. I will put a transparent texture. And while they are selected, I select my HUD at the same time and I link everything together. Always select your buttons first and lastly the HUD. That way the HUD will remain the root prim. All right? So we have our HUD. Okay, so once you have done this, we have our HUD. We need, of course, to load the scripts and the note cards. I just delete the previous scripts. It's always good to start fresh. Okay, I select 2 new ones and I drag them in the content tab of my HUD. I select the product setup and all the styles that I have, and I pass them all in the content tab. Okay. Okay, the styles have been added to the legacy HUD. And by the way, this is where you will see them. You open your legacy HUD, you go to the nail tab, and you scroll. Oh, I see new. Maybe it's loading. Let's see. They are loading. So you see. So these are my styles, and the thumbnail are showing here in my HUD. But let's try so that means that the HUD is working, right? So I take this HUD in my inventory. I had it. Okay. Now let me show you how they look like. Let me show you my nails. So let's try the first one. Ooh, cool. Let's try the second one. Okay, cool. The 70s one. And finally the flowers. Cool. Let's see how they look like with different nail lengths. You see? Well, they look, I like them. Okay, so we have created a HUD with one nail design. We have created a second HUD with several nail designs. But let's say you just want to create your own designs for yourself. You are not planning on selling anything. You don't want to bother with creating a HUD and a graphic. A graphic for the HUD. The HUD, you will still need to do it, but you don't want to worry too much. You want it to be fast. You just want to create your designs for yourself. So let me show you how you can create your applier in just less than 5 minutes. You go to build. You raise a box, of course. You don't care. You don't resize it. It's fine. You raise another box. This one, I will just color it a different color so I know that this one is my button. Yeah. The design I've created for myself is, how surprising, orange, because we love orange here. So my button, I will just call it orange. Orange. The main HUD, I will call it my nails orange. Here, well, you don't need to change the properties here if you don't want to, but just in case, someday you want to give your nails to a friend and, just press copy here. No transfer. That way you will remember that you can give it away if you want, or sell it, or if you change your mind. So we have our HUD. You select your button, you select the other box last to make it your root prim, and you link everything together. Okay? So we have our HUD. We need our files. So I need one style for my nails. I need the 2 scripts, and I need a product setup. I copy all these files and I pass them in my folder. Okay. You remember, you just need one product setup by product. Here it's my nails orange. The product thumbnail UID, here I will go with the thumbnail that I've created. And I will pass it here. Gender, I'm a lady, but in case I offer it to a friend, I will just put unisex. Is it a demo? No. I save my note card. I go to my style note card. So the style name is orange. I remember I named my button orange. The style UID, it's the same. It's the thumbnail that I've done. So I copy the asset UID. Color group. Okay, no comment. And nail design, it's this one. Right click, copy asset UID, and you pass it here. You save. Okay. I edit my HUD. I go to the Content tab. I select all my files. And I pass them in my HUD. So it's starting to work. It's doing its thing still. Okay, my style has been added here. So it's ready. Just in case, again, I give it to a friend or I decide to sell it or whatever, change the properties. Only copy, you uncheck transfer for both styles. For both scripts, sorry. Properties. Oh, it was the other one. Properties. Here, uncheck transfer. Okay, your nail is done. Your HUD is done. Oh, I can't talk today. So let's pause. Let me just put it higher so you can see. So let's see if my HUD works. I just click on it and it works. I have a wonderful, gorgeous, amazing orange nail design. And if I go in my HUD, the new style is right here. So this is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes to create your applier. It's really quick, easy. And even this one, I can just delete it because the style now is in my legacy HUD. I don't need to worry about this. I can delete these files. I don't need them anymore. Just I keep those two textures in case I decide to create another HUD with those, or to create, let's say, a HUD with different colors: yellow, blue, green, orange. So I will just keep my my textures there. So you see, it was really easy and fast. One last example I wanted to show you is how the default legacy nail texture looks like when you don't do anything to it. Remember, let me show you here. This is the texture that will come with the PSD file for the nails. I just wanted to create a HUD quickly to show you how they look like when you don't do anything. Here you see it's the base nail, so it's the shorter nail size, and it goes up to the longer nail size. So I will just upload the texture, upload image, this one. I will pass it here. I will go and grab all the files that I need: the product setup, the two scripts, and the nail style. Copy and paste. Product setup, I will just call it default. Product and male, I don't have any, I don't care. Unisex, no. Female, because it's just as an example. Is it a demo? No, and I save it. And then the style, I will call it test. Style on male, I don't have one. Again, I don't care. Here, the color, I will say, I don't know, white. Nail UID is the texture that I've just uploaded. It's this one. Copy asset UID. Here, and I save it. So by now, you know the drill. You go to build. You raise a box. So you can see what I'm doing. You raise another box. This one I will resize it so I know this is the button. I will tint it so I know where to click. Let's go with the pink. Okay, the button, I will name it the same as I named my style. I named it test, so I will name my button test. And my main HUD, I will name it. I can't talk and I can't write. Test also. I select my button. I select my other box. I link everything together. I go to the Content tab. I grab all my files here, the product setup, the two scripts, and the style note card, and I pass them in the Content tab. And now I wait until the scripts have finished to do their job. Let's try another pose. This one. Oh, okay. This one, I like it. Note card accepted. I think we are okay. So let's just click the HUD. I'm clicking. And you see this is the default texture for your nails. And let me show it in different sizes. So obviously this one is the bigger size. And then let's go these ones, almond nails, and the shorter ones. So the texture that you see now here is the texture that comes with the PSD file that you've downloaded to create your own designs. It was to show you, the different nail lengths. So here is the base, and you see in the PSD file, okay, it's like this. I put a guide, so I know that all my designs need to be placed in these areas to look good, to be centered if the nail is set on the smaller size. And then, for the rest of the nail, you can go crazy and be creative. And now a little bonus for the gentlemen that are watching. I will just do a quick HUD with a more male nail design. So let's go. I have all my files here. I go to build. And I raise a box. I raise another box. I make it smaller so I know which one is which. This one, the button, I will call it men. And the HUD, nail design male. Okay. I click my button. I click my main box, and I link both together. I set the properties to copy only. Okay, I have my HUD. Now let's go to the note cards. So the product setup, I will call it nail design mail. Okay. Product on mail. Well, I won't put any thumbnail here. Here I will write mail. Is it a demo? No. And for the style name, I think I call it men. The thumbnail, it's this one, copy asset UID. Here, color group, I would go with gray. And the nail UID, it's this one, copy asset UID. And I save. Okay. I edit my HUD, I go to the content tab, I select all my files, I drag them into the content tab, and I leave the scripts working, doing their job. Note card accepted. I changed the color of my nails to green so you can see when I will click on the HUD. And let's see, and here you have it. Like with some cracks, and actually it was inspired by this picture that I saw on Pinterest. I couldn't do the, the nude part of the nail because I wanted it to, fit all skin tones. So I made it gray, and I think a man could wear those. What do you think? So here you go. It took very little time, and it's working. Hey everyone, it's me. I was editing this video. Well, I should say that I was editing this video for the second time because I had some issues uploading the previous one to YouTube. It can happen. YouTube can be a diva sometimes. So I was editing this video after filming it again for the second time and basically creating HUDs non-stop for 10 days. However, while making so many HUDs, I've discovered a few things, and those things will be my tips and tricks. If you've made it so far, congratulations, you're a real one. Now for the few tips and tricks I wanted to share with you, well, they are massive. Tip number 1. Remember, during this tutorial, when we were filling the product setup note card and the style note card, we were filling the thumbnail UID in both, yes? And the thumbnails appears in the legacy HUD right here. Well, I did a few tests and I realized a few things. I'll make it short for you. You're welcome. If you don't enter any thumbnail UID in any of the note cards, or both, by the way, the applier will work. You will see the design you have created on your nails, but no thumbnail will be added in the legacy style HUD. And this is amazing, because you remember that when you add a style to the legacy HUD, you can't delete it. For now, you can't delete it. I checked with the MeshBuddy customer team, and they confirmed that as for now, this is not something you can do. This is, however, something that is on their wish list. So maybe in an upcoming update, we will have the possibility to remove a style from the style HUD here. But for now, you can't. So knowing that if you don't add any thumbnail UID in any of the node cards, then no thumbnail will appear in the legacy style HUD. It's great, because that means that you can test as much as you want without cluttering this legacy style HUD. It's massive, right? So for preview, for testing, you don't need to add any thumbnail UID in the node cards, product setup or style node card, and you won't have any thumbnail added here. It can be also useful for demos, for example. I know that, for example, if I, get a demo from a store and I just want to see how it looks like on my nails, I wouldn't like to have then a preview here of the demo, right, in my style HUD. So that could be also useful for a demo of a product that you are creating. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, now if you are creating the real thing, the real applier, you may be wondering what's the difference between the thumbnail UID in the product setup and the thumbnail UID in the style node card. Good question, right? Because it was also bothering me. I'm autist Asperger. I think that you're supposed to say in the spectrum nowadays. I've been diagnosed like 9 months ago, so it's all new to me. However, I need to understand things and how they work. And I also think that when one understands how things work, it's easier to learn. Yes, you agree? So I did a few tests again. I'm a nerd, I can't help it. What can I say? And if you fill the thumbnail asset UID in both node cards, yes, like the way you are supposed to do, only the thumbnail in the style node card is the one that will appear in the legacy HUD, right? So knowing that the thumbnail in the style node card is the only one that appears in the legacy HUD, I was then wondering why the thumbnail in the product setup node card was needed for. Are you wondering that too? I was guessing that it was somewhat related to a future feature that the legacy team was planning on adding, but what do I know, right? I was a web developer in another life, and we used to had fields in the backend database for future features that would be implemented in the front end, but what do I know, right? So I asked the Mesh Body customer team, and by the way, they are amazing. They are so nice, they reply very quickly and so accurately. It's a chef's kiss. And here's the response. Greetings. Yes, the extra product thumbnail is stored in the system in the case the style page would be edited and or enhanced with folders and categories. So it's for now unutilized information that would be anyway already filled in the case of an update or rework concerning the style page. So it's highly recommended to anyway fill in accordingly. So what that means is that for now, you're basically filling this spot for nothing. But this will be useful information in the future when the new feature will be implemented in the legacy style HUD. Awesome, right? I think it's super great. The legacy style HUD will be getting better and better, and we like that, right? Tip number 3. And my tip number 3 is something I also realized while creating dozens of HUDs, is that if you only want to make an applier for one single design, you only need one box, aka one button, and it will work. I wouldn't recommend to do that way for a product you are planning on selling or giving. You should stick with the right way to do things, yes? But if it's just for preview or testing, then it's easier, and here's how you do it. So I raise one box, I call it test, right? I just changed the color, so I know that this one I'm supposed to keep it. Change the color, let's say, well, orange. So I called it test. Right, and now I will, the product setup, we'll just call it test. I don't need a product thumbnail because I don't want the thumbnail to be added to my style HUD. Gender, I don't care. Demo, no, I save it. And the style name, so I called this box, remember, I called it test. So this is the style name that I will be using, test. I won't add any thumbnail, UID, so that way the thumbnail won't appear in my legacy style HUD here. Color group, I don't care. And the nail UID, this is the only thing that I will be changing, you know, while if I test other nail designs. So this one, I'm about neon colors at the moment. I copy the asset UID, I pass it here, and I save it. Okay? I go to my content tab. Here, remember, it's only one box. I get all the 2 scripts and the 2 note cards, and I drag them in the content tab of my box. Now, the HUD is doing its thing. Please wait, I'm waiting. Note card accepted. So the product note card accepted, note card accepted. I think it's working now. Let's check. So I just click on it, and boom, we have neon pink nail color. So you see, just for preview, if you want something quick, boom, just one box. You check your nail design, and if it's good, then you do the real HUD, right? And now I will be using the same test applier with another design that I've created. So what I will do, I will just go to the, you see, I will keep this test applier just to preview the nail designs that I'm creating. I don't have every time to create a new applier and everything. I will just keep this applier as a test one, and just to preview all the designs that I do. So what I need to do now is, you know, the product setup, I don't change it, it's still the same. It's just the style nail note card that I will edit. And the only thing I have to edit, it's the nail UID, the new design UID. So it's this one, copy asset UID, and boom, save. I will edit my applier. You see that the scripts are still there. I don't care, I will just add the product setup and the style nail. And again, the scripts are doing their thing. Product note card accepted. And note card accepted. And you see that there's no confirmation that a new style has been added to the legacy style HUD, which is what we want, right? So now let's see how they look like. Let me click. So for now, I have neon pink nail color. I click on my HUD, and boom, I have another design. It's working. I just can see how they look like, if I like them and everything. And yeah. So, and that way, it's easier. You just need to, you know, edit one line in the style note card, and you can test as much as you want without cluttering your HUD here. Amazing. So I take this one, and it should be in my objects. Cut. I will create another folder. Test Applier. This is how I will call it. I passed my HUD in there. I will just put these two files. Copy, paste. This is the only files that I will need for my HUD, because remember, the scripts are still in there. I don't need to bother anymore with those. Those I can delete. And the only file that I will need to edit is the style nail, only this line. So it's much easier and quicker, right? So those were my tips and tricks. I hope you find them useful. Well, I guess this is it for today. You know everything there is to know about creating nail appliers for the legacy body. I hope you've learned a few things. I hope it was clear enough. I hope my French accent wasn't too bad. Well, I lived in the US for more than 10 years, and listen to me, it's still awful. There's nothing I can do about it. Sorry about that. Next tutorial will be about creating appliers again, combining styles together and applying them with just one click. So stay tuned. I will also be making a tutorial on how to create, let's say, freckles and blushes for the body. There's more to come. Honestly, since I've been playing with those appliers, I'm discovering a new world, and I'm enjoying it so much. So you'll be seeing a few more tutorials. Well, thank you very much for watching. I see your likes, and they make me happy, really. Thank you. Also, thank you very much to the new subscribers. Thanks for joining. It's nice to have you. So, bye-bye for now, and see you in my next video. Au revoir.